We're talking all things makeup dupes in this video today. I've got 4 for you. I have scoured the affordable makeup market to find things that are incredibly similar, especially side by side to some very expensive, very luxurious products. So without further ado, let's get on with it. I have all of the products that I'm going to be talking about in this video on my skin today. I have one half affordable products and the other half luxurious and rather pricey products. So by the end of this video, I will tell you which is which, but put your guesses in the comment section and we'll see if you're right at the end. First up, we've got the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter in the shade 2. That is my personal shade. I absolutely love this product. It is a personal favorite of mine. I use it all the time. The reason I love it so much is because you get the glow without too much sparkle, without it emphasizing anything you don't want emphasizing. So any texture, any fine lines, any wrinkles, any open pores. I just love this. I can wear it on its own. I can mix this in with my moisturizer if I want a tiny little bit less glow, or I can apply this over the top of my foundation or mix it in with my foundation to add a little bit extra. So really love this. However, I have found a more affordable alternative which has blown me away. Now this is the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion in the shade 902, which is light glow. Very, very similar side by side. On the back of the hand, they don't look anything like, but actually transferred to the skin, they look very similar. What I am really impressed with is the Lumi Glotion is slightly less glowy than the Dior. And I didn't think that was going to be possible. This is glowy but airbrushing, and I would say the Lumi Glotion has the same effect. And you can use it in exactly the same way. Straight all over the face, which I've done today. Mix it in with your moisturizer for less glow and a really dewiness and juiciness to the skin. Mixed in with your foundation. Apply over the top of your foundation for that extra glow. It can just do everything that the Star Filter can do, and side by side, I don't think you'll tell a difference. The second luxurious product I have a dupe for is from Merit. This is the Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen. It has an SPF of 50 in here. I really like this sunscreen. Not only is it a great sunscreen if applied in the correct quantities, but the tint of this is so flattering on my skin. So because this is such a pricey product, I don't apply it all over the skin like an SPF. I like to apply it a little bit more frugally because the finish on the skin is absolutely gorgeous, extremely flattering, and I always apply a standalone SPF anyway, so I don't need to go overboard with this to get a beautiful coverage. Usually I wouldn't apply the Dior Forever Glow Star Filter underneath something as glowy and radiant as the Merit the Uniform Tinted Mineral Sunscreen because you just don't need that added glow. However, if you do love the glow, then these work in combination perfectly together. I love how the Merit sinks into the skin rather than sitting on the surface and creating a little bit of a cakey mess as the day goes on. If you are going to be using this as an actual sunscreen rather than a tint or a tinted moisturizer, I do recommend applying this in stages rather than applying the whole lot in one go because it does tend to dry down. When it dries down, if you've got too much on the skin, it can look a little bit heavy, but applied in layers, this looks absolutely beautiful. So similar in so many ways is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. This also has a mineral sunscreen of SPF 50 in here if you apply the recommended amount, but you can use this as just a standalone skin tint as well if you so wish. I really like it as a standalone skin tint. It adds that extra layer of protection on top of my standalone SPF. I can also use this as a full-on SPF and apply the correct amount without it looking ridiculous on my skin, which is very, very rare. both of these will do that. But in the case of both of these, again, you do have to be careful and layer it up rather than applying the entire thing all at once, because this can look a little heavy and it can also feel a little heavy if you're not careful with your application. The glow to this is absolutely beautiful, and even though you do get that radiance, there is a level of airbrushing within this formula which I find incredibly flattering on my skin. Let's talk about the Benetint from Benefit. This is a cult classic, and it is a cult classic for a reason. Now, I didn't really know what all the fuss was about back in the day when this came out, and of course I bought it, of course I used it. I use this as a cheek tint, I use this as a lip tint. However, I used to think that it smudged the rest of my makeup that I'd already put on, so it was only good for applying to bare skin when you just want to look a little more pinched, a little more lifted. But they've made this better over time, and also they've made other makeup products last a little bit longer and not smudge and not drip and not, you know, just disappear when you apply other products, especially liquid products, over the top of them. So now I can get on board with this. It is beautiful. It is a great tint. This is the rose tint. I think it looks beautiful on my lips and on my cheeks, and it lasts for such a long time. Now, I have tried to get this off numerous times. It is not going anywhere. Now, the stuff on my cheeks will come off a lot easier because I've applied it on top of other products, but this was applied to bare skin, and yeah, if you do that, budge proof. Elf, however, brought out their own alternative to the Benetint, and I picked this up in 3 different shades. So this has other shades to choose from as well. Don't ask me which shade is the dupe for the Rose Benetint because it is written so small on the bottle. I cannot make it out. I will get some sort of flashlight and magnifying glass on this, I think it's my age, and put it on the screen for you now. This does everything that the Benetint does. It lasts for a really long time. It has the staying power of the Benetint, and actually I prefer the applicator of this because it's slightly bigger, and how I like to apply this is applying it on the back of my hand. I think that way you are more secure in the fact that this isn't going to mix up and mess up the rest of the products that you've already laid down. So I apply it on the back of my hand and then go in with a brush as I would any sort of liquid or cream product and stipple that on the cheek. That way you can build it up however you want and get the desired look. So I have one on one side, one on the other. Which one's which? There are so many people that are going to be wrong. I just know it. I just know it. Last up, we've got the Lip Glow Butter from Dior. This is ridiculously expensive. For me, for no reason. I mean, it's a perfectly nice lip butter with, by the way, no butters within this formula whatsoever. I do like the packaging. I like the fact that, you know, it's very pretty, jingle jangles, which is, you know, a thing of mine. I really do like that. But if it meant losing this was going to decrease the price, I would take that any day because, I mean, this much money for what is essentially a lip balm is just... This particular shade of the Lip Glow Butter is in the shade Toffee, which is absolutely divine. I do fancy trying some of the other shades, but there is absolutely no way that I am going to be paying for another one. Not when there are other products out there that do a very similar job and look identical. So talking about that, let me introduce you to the Max Factor Miracle Pure Lip Enhancer Conditioning Tinted Balm. I mean, it's a long name. It's a really long name. There's no need for it. But what is inside this packaging is beautiful and so similar to the Lip Glow Butter in a side-by-side comparison. These also feel very similar on the lips and do a very similar conditioning job. So make sure that your lips don't dry out, don't go all scratchy and, you know, crusty and crispy throughout the day. Now this is the shade 020 Cocoa Nibs, and side by side I don't think you would be able to tell a difference. The only difference I can tell you is that the Dior needs less applications throughout the day, so it sticks around for a little bit longer. If that is your thing, if you would rather pay more for that, then, you know, I'm not judging, totally fine. If you're one for the packaging, if you're one for Dior, absolutely great. But if you have a look here, side by side, very little difference. Very little. They feel the same on the lip, just one lasts a little bit longer than the other. But to be quite honest, I would rather apply this 20 times a day to get the same effect than have to spend this much money and apply it 10 times a day, you know. So did you guess which side had the affordable products on correctly? Let's just have a quick zoom in on my skin just to give you a recap. And if you haven't added your vote in the comments section, definitely pop which side you prefer down below. I mean, which side has the affordable products and which side has the really high-end, expensive products? Well, I'm going to tell you. So the left-hand side of the screen, so the right-hand side of my face has the high-end luxury, very expensive products on there. And the right-hand side of the screen, so the left-hand side of my face, has all of the affordable products on. And if I'm being completely honest, I prefer this side. I think it's more airbrushed. I think it looks smoother. My skin looks incredibly flattering, whereas this side just looks a little bit more textured. Still beautiful, and I love all of the products on this side. But this side, the affordable side, just gets my vote today. Let me know if you got it right or if you got it wrong. If you got it right, what gave it away? And if you got it wrong, what do you prefer about the affordable side over the luxury side? The price difference is ridiculous, by the way. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please let me know what you thought about it in the comment section. I have linked all of the products in the description box for you, both high-end and affordable, just in case you're wanting to try any of the products out at all. They will all be linked below. If you found this video helpful, I'd love it if you'd share it with somebody that you think will enjoy it as well. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.